Let's take a look at some sports now. Here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Many thanks, Ijoma. The General Assembly of the Nigeria Football Federation has fixed September the 30th next year for new elections into the board of the country's ruling football body. Following the conclusion of deliberations in Jos Plateau State earlier today, the Congress have resolved that all future electoral congresses will be moved away from the FIFA World Cup year.
Congress be moved away from the FIFA World Cup year. This is to guarantee stability in the system, to prepare the national team for credible participation at the finals, and to avoid the distractions and crises usually associated with the World Cup year. General Assembly approved the venue and date of the next FIFA elective Congress. Venue is casting out, and the date is 30th of September 2018. However, this approval is subject to any amendment to the statutes in view of the coming NFF bill. The Congress composed the new electoral and NFF electoral appeal committee does. Electoral committee: Barrister Mohammed Sani Katu, Mr. Sani Salau, Barrister SCA Umehad, Barrister Olushola Oke, Mr. Mohammed Manzo, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi, who is secretary, while you have standby as Honorable Isang, Barrister Mohammed Aliu Sambo.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Football Federation says it will ensure that negotiations with the players of the Super Eagles with regards to World Cup bonuses are firmly concluded, agreed and signed before the end of this year to ensure a hitch-free campaign. The NFF will also unveil a comprehensive plan for the team after the World Cup draw in Moscow on December the 1st, which will include the team's training camps, friendly games, funds drive to ensure a great outing at the World Cup finals as well. The Executive Committee of the NFF has resolved that only the Super Eagles and the Super Falcons will be entitled to bonus payments per match. American coach Randy Waldrum has been handed the role of technical advisor of the women's senior national team, the Super Falcons. The Nigeria Football Federation, the NFF, approved the recommendation of its Technical and Development Committee for the appointment of Coach Waldrum, who was till last year the coach of Trinidad and Tobago's women's national team. The incoming coach, who will take over from Florence Omagwemi, started his coaching career at Austin College in the United States in 1982, leading the men's soccer team to 4 victories, 12 drawing games and a loss in his first stint as coach. One of Africa's representatives at this year's IWTF World Cup, Aaron Okodri, has been drawn in Group A of the 3-day tournament holding in Belgium. The tournament, which has the best 20 players, will serve off on Friday, October the 20th. The African Cup champion will battle South Korea's Lee Zhang-Zhu and United States' Kanak Jar for a place in the main draw. Kodri's first group match will be against the Korean on Friday. And that's a wrap in sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Thanks, Ayotunde. A consultative meeting scheduled by the head of the Kenyan Electoral Commission, Wafula Chebukati, and leaders of the main opposition parties ahead of next week's presidential runoff in Kenya nearly failed today, with one party refusing to show up. President Uhuru Kenyatta has been on the campaign trail, drumming up support that should translate into votes on October the 26th. He tweeted today, "There'll be no sitting in boardrooms to negotiate and share government. Kenyans have the right to decide who will be their president." Chebukati, who has voiced his concern that the election will not be credible, was however able to meet with the opposition leader Raila Odinga, who has withdrawn his candidature and called for mass protests on election day.
It's good that these things are now coming out. The chairman, as you know, as said by Madam Akombe, has been hostile to some commissioners. That also need to be addressed. There are staff who are in the secretariat who are partisan and who are involved in rigging the last elections, who are still in place. So all those do not actually inspire confidence that we can have a proper process. And that's the reason why we said we will come and talk and listen. We have listened and we have also given our views. We are not at liberty to tell you everything that we discuss, but I think we have had a good meeting with the chairman.
The Spanish government has begun preparations to invoke Article 155 that will eventually lead to Catalonia losing its autonomy. The Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, had set a deadline of 10 o'clock local time for the region's leader to offer a definite answer on the independence question and called on him to act sensibly. When the deadline passed, the government accused the Catalan authorities of seeking confrontation. Ministers will be meeting this Saturday to begin action. And President Xi Jinping has become the first Chinese leader to lend his name to a political theory since 1989, when the state media made the announcement. It said the Communist Party of China has created Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. The theory is likely to be incorporated into the constitution of the ruling Communist Party, which would strengthen Jinping's position at the top. Party officials say the thought is the biggest highlight of the 19th National Congress and a historic contribution to the party's development. And the main news again. The federal government today arraigned Senator Issa Misou before an FCT High Court over alleged falsehood against the Inspector General of Police and the Police Service Commission. Also today, alleged kidnap kingpin Chukudumeme Onwamadike, also known as Evans, made a U-turn by pleading not guilty to charges of conspiracy and kidnapping. And Spain today announced readiness to suspend Catalonia's autonomy as the region's leader threatened to declare independence. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Hunyato. Good night.